Real quick, before we get into the video, I just want to say thank you guys so much for the support on my last video. I never expected anything that I would do would ever get that much reach, and I just really want to say thank you for that. Also, you're gonna notice some small cracks and pops in the audio, like while you're watching the video, and I tried to fix it as much as I could. I tried to re-record it. I tried to like manually cut it out, but it was like ingrained in the audio, and that's because the software I was using to like capture me and my friend's voice, it's not really that good, so it resulted in those like cracks and pops, and I'm sorry about that, and I don't want to hold you guys back any longer from the video. Thank you, and I hope you enjoy. Hey guys, it's me Farrell here, and I'm joined by my friend Ni28.
What's good with y'all, Holmes?
Today, I'm going to be talking about the story of which I thought it was a good idea for me to attempt to become a prank YouTuber.
Well, that didn't turn out too well for you now, did it?
Yeah, it didn't really turn out well, considering I got in trouble for the videos I was making.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised you just go around, fucking annoying people.
Acting like a total dumbass. And the worst part is, I mean, I shouldn't even consider this the worst part. I should consider this like fucking divine intervention. That I didn't ever get these recordings and I was never able to upload them. Because if I did, I would look like a total dumbass.
So you went through all that trouble just to have no video.
Yeah, because at the time, let's call him Gyrate. My childhood friend. He would be like my cameraman and like sort of like a manager. Like he would help me out with ideas and stuff. And so we would go around like doing these pranks, and like after we'd be done, I'd like send him a text message like uh the same night or like the night before, like the night after, I mean. And I'd be like, "Hey, we did a good job. Can you send me those recordings so I can like clip them together and like upload them?" I'd be like, "Yeah, all right, that sounds cool." And he never sent them to me. He kidnapped my own recordings that were on like his phone, because he like always insisted on like, "Oh yeah, can I do it on my phone?" Because at the time I had like I think I had an Android or something.
He held him hostage. He wanted
Yeah,
some ransom money.
he I was broke at the time too, so I couldn't like pay him off,
Well, you were
even if he
basically
wanted a
making him
ransom.
do this for free.
It was his idea. I was like, I jokingly said, like after watching like a video from Gideon at the time, because like at the time, like before I even started this whole thing, I always really just wanted to do YouTube because it was like my always been my passion. Like ever since I would watch like PewDiePie, like Jacksepticeye do videos, I'd always like watch them how they like did what they loved, but like they were still them. It was still their personality, and I always just like wanted to do that. And like I saw a video from Gideon how he was doing it, and I was like, you know, that looks pretty fun. I might try it. So like at lunch one time, we're all sitting in like a circle. I was like, hey, wouldn't it be funny if you like tried to do like some small pranks and like see how it would go?
And record them and, catch their reaction.
Yeah. And he was like, yeah, that sounds pretty cool. We should do it. So he was really adamant about the idea of this. He was more adamant about it than me.
So, he wanted to record you asking people random questions and, just upload it to YouTube.
Yeah, and just doing dumbass shit in general.
Doesn't sound smart.
Yeah, it wasn't really that smart at the time. I'm actually, it's better. It's better for everyone that I didn't upload those. I'm not gonna lie. And
Too bad.
that guy,
See, what they looked like.
yeah, and that guy Gyrate ended up getting into some hot water because of like the stuff he would do when we would be recording that I wouldn't notice, because he would always insist on being fucking away from me, and he would like go, "Hey, I want to go to this table while you go do that. I'll record you from here." It'll always be like a table filled with girls, dude. And it's just like be sitting there harassing them mid recording.
Sounds like a dickhead.
And I assume that's why he never wanted to send me the recordings, because they might have been like captured what he was doing and shit. You know?
Oh, so he didn't want to, reveal his true colors to you.
Yeah. And then we ended up like falling apart and like not doing we ended up just not talking after that. And we just stopped doing prank videos. I'm sorry to pull the condom off and reveal the end of the story before I even said it. But yeah.
Well,
So
conspiracy.
ba- basically basically before all the falling out and before all the drama that happened, we would like because at the time, as I said, I like really used to like how Gideon used to do pranks because it was like I would watch like at the times the ones that like weren't really that intrusive and weren't really that harmful, and just like I was like, hey, I can recreate this in my own way at the school, without like getting in trouble. So I would like watch all his videos and study which ones like I can possibly do and like how he reacts to certain situations to see how I should react. Like, you know what I mean?
So you wanted to be exactly like him in a way.
In a way, I was inside Gideon at the time. From how
Oh,
much I used to study him, I could tell you his genetic structure if you really wanted to at the time. I can tell you what color his kidneys were and how big his intestines were. That's how like in sync I was with Gideon, bro. I was like Greninja to Ash.
it was love at first sight for you.
I mean, I wouldn't say all that, but kinda.
It seems like it. You were, really studying him.
Like studying is a bit it's a bit of a over exaggeration. I just like watch and she like, hey, this looks simple enough. Like, just say for instance the Sugar Mama application, right? All I gotta do is fucking go to the library. In fact for that, I looked up like an actual job application, like PDF for a job application, and I went through. I went home. I was like, ah, this should be perfect. And I went through editing it completely into like it fit like the parameters of like what he was doing. But like I also added like some extra stuff on my end just to make it funny. And like I remember like I looked at the PDF of it and I was like, yeah, this is it. This is what's gonna make me the best YouTube prankster of all time. Like you know what I mean?
Fucking sugar mama application.
And like during the whole process of as weird as it sounds, during the whole process of it, I just wanted like a one signature to prove that like my experiment had worked, Like Dr. Robotnik, I wanted to make sure my experiment succeeded. So I went around after I printed them out, after I had to reclaim my treasure from the librarian. I went around heading them to every single thing I can find that breathes. Man, woman, cat, animal, local crocodile addict. I handed them to
Did I
everyone I
just say?
saw. I handed them to everyone I saw. In hopes that I would at least get one signature and that would cement that I indeed am gonna be a popular YouTube prankster. And to make up for the fact that I am now one of the first people, by the way, to get banned from a fucking school library for printing papers.
Bro printed out too much paper at the library.
Hey, I had so much aura at the time for getting banned from the school library.
Bro thought it was cool to get banned at the library.
At the time, I truly was I truly was just like the degenerate pranksters nowadays, where it's like, oh, any publicity is good publicity. If I get banned, that means I'm doing a service. I'm gonna look
Well, it's
like a
different
like a
for you. You
hero.
got banned from a library, and most of those people that get banned from like Walmarts and shit.
Yeah, you know, in my small smooth brain at the time, I thought I was like one of the YouTube prankster heroes. When it's like I
A
just joined the
hero?
line of like degenerates. Degenerate pranksters that would like cause trouble and get banned.
You wanted fame for the wrong reasons.
I wanted money, fame, and power, just like Gold Roger, but I achieved it in the wrong ways. I went about it in the wrong ways. Instead
Well,
of,
you learned your lesson.
mm-hmm, and instead of searching for the one piece, I searched for the one piece of shit video that could get my ass in trouble.
And how in trouble did you get?
I mean, well, I hate to peel behind the curtain, but I ended up getting my ass beat for a very shitty song I made.
You made a song about somebody, like a diss track?
Yup, because believe it or not, one of my magnum opuses as I was planning out videos for me to do, because I would like consistently like increase in the severity of my pranks. I would go from like sugar mama applications to no, from asking people stupid ass questions, making myself look stupid, and then the sugar mama application one to finally I needed a magnum opus. I needed something that would get my ass on like the Mount Rushmore of YouTube pranksters. I wanted to be on the Marines wanted list as Gold Roger was, but in pranksters in the prankster version. So I scrolled through Gideon's videos, right? And I found like his most popular video at the time. It was like the fuck Tyrone video, right? The diss track against Tyrone, the store manager.
That was a great video.
So I was like, this is gonna be my magnum opus. This will be like Squidward
Gotta
painting
say,
bold and brash. But instead of
I
bold
gotta
and
say,
brash for me, it's gonna be shit in ass.
I need to say one quick thing.
Mm-hmm.
So in that video of the fuck Tyrone, if you when you watch it, you see that he actually went to like a studio and had like actually somebody make him a good beat. And he was like actually putting effort into it. But I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
assume yours had like nowhere near the effort that he did.
And you would be right about that. I did my best to like put as much effort as I can because I remember I got the like the school computers that they give you.
Yeah.
So I had that. I printed out like a paper in my lyrics. I had the paper in front of me, and I had my phone. So, because I used the computer to record my voice, and I had my phone playing the beat. So basically, at the time, I thought I was a fucking genius. I thought I was like Megamind at the time. But if you listen to it, it sounds so fucking distorted. It sounds like I was rapping from a washing machine. Like
You
Little
care to put a
Pump,
sample for the viewers?
huh?
You care
I'll
to
put
put
a
a
sample.
sample for the viewers?
I'll put a sample up. Fine. I'll bite. I'm not a pussy. I'll put a sample. But basically, like it sounds like I'm pretty. I made the one song I made was worse than Little Pump's whole discoverography. Than Little Pump's whole portfolio of
Discography.
music.
Oh, I said it wrong too.
Like the one song I made was worse than Little Pump's whole portfolio of music. Like a homeless man addicted to fentanyl can make a better song than I made with the same equipment that I did. I don't know in what world I thought that that sounded good, but at the time, I was so blinded by my own hubris that I thought it was like a good song, and I was actually proud of it. So much so, so much so that I went around. I printed flyers. I printed flyers of the song, which was just like a picture of like the cover of the song, and I
For
handed them out to everyone. Yeah, I tried like my hardest to promote it, dude, because I was like, oh, the more I promote it, the more engagement I get, the more cool I'll be. Everyone will think I'm so cool.
little did he know he made a big mistake.
Yeah, little did I know, I made a mistake that would get my ass beat and would make me look like a dumbass for years to come. So basically, after I handed out all those flyers, I had my friends hyping me up. They're like, "Yeah, let's go. This is fucking awesome, dude. Yes, dude, this is gonna be so fucking good." I went up to the guy, one of the main protagonists of our story. Let's call him Pineapple Pizza. So this guy, I already had like problems with him before. He would just constantly like harass me and my friends and shit. And when we would go outside, he would often like just start fights. So like after like countless scuffles after like fist fights that ended in like draws and me losing. I thought, you know what? I know what to do now. I know how to shut him up for good. So I went home like fucking Akira with the Death Note. I started writing in my phone passionately, dude. I thought I was writing straight heat at the time. Like, in fact,
After
in my
listening,
head, I
I
was like,
I had the pleasure of listening to this song, and let's just say it was anything but heat.
yeah, I was a,
It was the
it,
softest thing out there.
it was softer than Drake after hearing he can't be around minors anymore. I thought I was writing the best song of all time. I thought that when people would listen to it, they would fall back out of their chairs because it was so good. And I wasn't wrong. They did indeed fall back out of their chairs, but not for that reason. They were falling back out of their chairs, laughing at how shit the song was. And even to this day, I can't in good conscience say that that song is good. That song was straight ass. But anyways, I sat there for like 30 minutes on end writing lyrics. And I was like, yes, this will get him. I, I thought myself Beethoven
You were,
writing those lyrics.
you were nowhere near Beethoven level.
There's something I failed to realize before. So after I wrote those lyrics, right, I went to my friends like a kid going to his mom on Christmas, showing her his Christmas presents, and I was like, hey, look at this. This looks cool, doesn't it? So as they looked through my phone, I can see that they're holding back laughter, trying to like cheer me up and be like, "Yeah, dude, this is fucking cool. This is
They're
amazing."
not real ones. They're not real ones.
So God bless their soul. They they held on to the idea that it sounded good. Because on paper, the lyrics, when sung by anyone who does not have the voice of a nail scratching on a chalkboard that is covered in feces, they would sound pretty good. But uh, me, yeah, no.
So you're
So
inciting that you have an annoying voice?
yes, I'm not gonna be no. I'm not a pussy. I'm not gonna deny it. Yeah, I do.
Bold.
And at the time, it was way worse because I was 10 years old. You know, no
Ooh,
one,
young Pharaoh at
mm,
10 years old.
no one sounded good at that age. And so after showing them the lyrics, I went home, like with full confidence in my eyes, with a fire burning in my ass. I was like, yes, this is gonna be the best thing I do. I'm gonna look so cool after doing this. So I sat down, I went in my room, I opened the closet, I went in the closet, I put the computer down, put my phone down, I got the lyrics printed, laminated on paper so they wouldn't get damaged.
Bro was very serious about this. He had everything prepared.
I thought I wanted to like memorialize it because I thought, oh yeah, it's gonna be the best thing I do. In fact, it was the worst mistake of my fucking life. I'm not gonna lie. And so I put everything down and I was like, yes, this is gonna be my magnum opus. And I started recording. I went through like I had my friend on call. Let's call him Blackberry. I should so poor Blackberry had to listen to not only the song as it was that everyone heard, but he had to listen to it during the making of it, which sounded even worse because I had to cut out some of the lyrics because they sounded like straight ass. And like
I feel bad for him. His ears must have suffered through immense pain.
Blackberry's ears were Blackberry's ears got fucked harder than anyone who invests in a shitty crypto coin that day. But anyways, after the final take, I felt like SpongeBob writing his essay. After years of writing the same shit over and over again, I finally found it. I found the perfect copy. I stopped. I got BlackBerry on the phone. I said, "This is it. This is gonna be the greatest song that the whole school has ever heard. I'm gonna be so cool. No one's gonna bully me again.
Big mistake.
Big mistake indeed. In fact, it was quite the opposite. So, the day, I'm pretty sure. Oh yeah, the next morning, I went to school. I went to the library. Even though I was
The
banned,
one that
because
you
there was
correct.
because there was a substitute librarian there. So I was like, this is my chance. So I went into the library. I I got onto the PCs. I got my friend who just came into the school. I made him go through hell after he just walked in, tired as shit, no coffee. He went in. I told him, hey, you gotta check this shit out, dude. I sat him right next to me. I started editing it. I went and I assembled the worst fucking song that humanity will ever hear. I would say it would be worse than the thick of it.
Worse
Anyway,
than the
I
yeah, it
assembled the
definitely
song.
was. Definitely was.
I assembled the whole song, right? And I played it. I got one of the school headphones. I plugged it in. I put it on his ears. I played it for him to hear. Much like much like people looking in you when they're showing you a reel. I stared at him with a full shit-eating grin on my face. I watched him as he held back disappointment in what he heard, as he struggled to tell me, yeah, it sounds pretty good. That day, that day was the day that I made the worst mistake of my life.
Here we go.
That was the day I uploaded that shit for everyone to see. And mistakenly enough, I put one of the guys' names, like one of the guy's full names, which was a big mistake on my part because I was a dumbass. That's why I took down the whole song to begin with. I put it in so everyone knows who I was talking about because in my mind, I didn't want like to seem like a coward. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I see you.
I want everybody to know who I was talking about. So I did it, right? And I posted it. And I walked through school that day like fucking Greg Heffley after like painting abs on his chest. I was proud of myself I was cocky as shit. I was walking around, my fucking shoulders swaying back and forth. I was like, yeah, I got his ass. He's not gonna bully me no more after this, huh? So I went through the whole day. People were like, "Yeah, we saw the song. It was pretty cool." I did not at that time. I didn't notice the sarcasm in their voice and the fact that they were actively laughing as they were saying this. I thought they were being dead serious. So I would look up with like a full serious smile on my face and be like, "Thank you," with my dumb
They were
ass.
just, bro.
And what I mean, like, they wouldn't come up to me and say it. Since our school had like a stairway, I would like reach towards like there's a whole second floor, right? And the stairs you can peer down at people from the stairs. So they would see me walking, and they would yell that at me from like the top of the stairs. And I felt like I was the shit, bro.
He
I
thought
was
he
like,
was the man.
I finally did it. I'm finally cool. I'm finally respected now. Up until the climax of our story, in which I went to the cafeteria. It was lunchtime, right? I sat down in my usual spot. Big grin on my face. I was on top of I was on cloud nine. Up until one of my friends came up to me and he said, "Hey, you might want to get out of here. Pineapple Pizza said he was gonna come beat your ass." And so, me not wanting to look like a coward and me not wanting to look like an absolute idiot, I sat there and waited for him to come. As he slowly inched up to where I was sitting, I looked him dead in the eyes with a smile on my face, and then proceeded the most silliest beating to ever happen. In fact, it was barely a beating. I sat there in my seat. I truly thought I was Goku at the time. So every punch he made, I dodged it. I swayed left and right, and it worked. He managed to not hit me. But here's the fatal flaw. He pushed my ass out of my chair and I fell out of my chair. Now, let me give you a bit of context. The reason why it was so easy for him to push me out of my chair is because I knew, like, if he would come to beat my ass, the teachers would come immediately, right? So I wanted to make it look like I wanted to not get in trouble, right? So I kept my hands like folded. So I kept my ass.
Think Goku.
I kept my arms folded, right? Because if I laid a hand on him, I would get in more trouble, or I would just get in trouble at all. I thought, okay, if they can visibly see that I am unable to hit this man because my arms are folded, I won't get in trouble, and he'll just look stupid. So I kept my arms folded the whole time. I only like dodged, and then he pushed me out of like my chair, and like I fell in the most goofiest fucking way possible. I felt like a NPC. I fell in the same position that I was sitting down, arms still crossed and like legs pointing upwards, like a 90-degree angle. And I didn't get up. And like it was after it was during that I saw like the campus security guard like come grab me. He put like my hands behind. He told me like put my hands behind my back, so like I wouldn't like do anything. And so like he was walking behind me. He was like escorting me out of like the cafeteria, right? I was like, everybody was looking at me because it was like, who's this fucking dumbass that got pushed out of his chair? So as they were looking at me, I was like, I gotta look really cool. I gotta make myself look really cool. So I looked towards like the direction of like genuinely everyone there, and I just like smiled, like fucking Luffy on the execution block.
You were not that thug.
I was not, dude. In fact, a lot of people just said that I just looked dumb as hell. So as they were walking me towards the counselor's room, they sat me there. It felt like I was truly in like a courtroom. I had the other security guard there and the lady security guard and the man security guard behind like at the door, and then the my counselor. So they're playing the exact same song, and just like King Vaughn at trial, they would keep repeating my lyrics to me. They're like, so what is an op?
Care to explain and elaborate?
Exactly like that. And I had to stand there, fucking red faced, embarrassed, having to explain to like people who have never heard these words and mannerisms before what they mean. And then like it kept getting worse every time. So they were like, so when you said his hairline was as dry as a Popeye's biscuit, what did you mean by that? And I had to explain in depth, but like I tried to do it in the most respectful manner I could, so I could avoid more trouble. So I was like, um, so you see, man, so you see, ma'am, when I said his hairline was as dry as a Popeye's biscuit, I meant that you know, the top of his head is always been very crusty and it's akin to that of a desert drought. And in popular pop culture, they compare that to a Popeye's biscuit since when you order a Popeye's biscuit, it's usually a very dry and it has the consistency of the Sahara Desert.
Bro, I had to give an entire explanation just for each line.
I had to defend every single line I did. And then at the end, when the trial was all over, the counselor plopped her hands on the table. She went, you know what you did? It's called cyberbullying. And now, I'm not gonna argue, but I will say, to call that song cyberbullying is to call calling someone a poopy head a racial slur. Like, if someone cyberbullied me with that song, I would never take the bully seriously in my life. If they could come up to me, beat my ass, and ask for my lunch money, and be like, "Okay, yeah, buddy," and just walk off after hearing that shit. Because that song was so incredibly ass that I could not imagine anyone actually getting angered from it. I can only see them getting angered at it by how shit it is. Because it truly was an insult to call that shit a diss track.
It definitely was, bro.
And so here I was thinking it was all over, and then I hear thuds from outside the door, and then I see as like the door fucking crashed open, a big sweaty red man just pointing at me and yelling, "Do you know what you did? Do you know what you did? It's called cyberbullying. Do you know you can get in trouble for that? You know we can arrest you for that."
Arrest you is crazy.
That's what I'm saying. Like all I did was say his hairline was as dry as a Popeye's biscuit, and I'm gonna go Super Saiyan 3. And so I sat there and I was like, I was nervous because I did not want to get my ass in more trouble. So I was trying to be as respectful as possible. I was be like, I'm sorry, sir, I won't do it again. Be like, get out of here. So I went to the front office after they had like called my mom to pick me up. And so I went to the front, like at this point I'm holding back like tears. Cause I was like, fuck. Not only am I still gonna get bullied, it's still gonna be a lot worse. I'm gonna look like a fucking dumbass. I look like that. And so the guy at the front. Oh, also I was pissed too, because I just had to endure getting my ass beat. I just had to endure getting my ass beat in front of like the whole cafeteria, and like all the respect I had gained has now been lost. So
I feel like you never had respect to begin with.
yeah, I mean the respect was low. The respect was, I would say, like a 2 to like a 1. After that, it went to like -50. So I went to the front. I was holding back I was trying to like keep a straight face, just trying to go home and go to sleep because I was like, I was like, I was not well. And then I see like the guy at the front. He was like, a nice old guy at the front. He's like, hey man, it's it's normal to make mistakes. You're a young man, and I hope you will learn from the what happened today, and I hope you'll never repeat it. And the thing is, I did learn a lesson, but not the lesson that I don't, not the lesson I think he wanted me to learn. So
Well, old man, he was right, and that's how you approach it. You don't
that
just
is
yell
true.
at them, but you like try to make them understand.
Yeah. And the lesson I learned, and the lesson you guys should all learn is not only should you not follow any guy you see on YouTube, it's not really a smart idea. You shouldn't idolize people you see on the internet. And if you're fucking shit at music, don't make music. Don't put yourself through that embarrassment if you're absolute shit at music. Find something you're good at and just do it. And yeah, that's about it. That's all for me. I'll see you guys next time.